Stupid Garbage Podcast.
Oh, I like that.
Howdy, howdy. What do you have, Jess?
Um,
I'm gonna let you start this one off.
What's your favorite war? I came up with a question I thought would be fun.
Did you come up with that on the spot?
Nope.
No.
I actually thought about it beforehand, and then I forgot about it, and then here we are. I was gonna ask you, what is your favorite war and why?
Wario. I don't know. I just kind of like his swagger.
No.
What's that?
Your favorite battle?
Seems like a very different question. Probably, if it's a war, I would have to say World War One. If it's a battle, I'd probably say the Siege of Candia, which was the longest siege in recorded history on Candia, which was controlled by the Republic of Venice. Maybe it was the Empire of Venice at the time. I don't think so, though. And it was being besieged by the Turks, and it lasted 21 and a half years or so.
Wow.
And yes, the Thalassocracy.
When was this? Did you say the year?
The 1550 to 1570.
Okay.
Something like that. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, the Thalassocracy, which is a seafaring empire of the Venetian Republic. Soon after, kind of collapsed. Anyway, what is your favorite of either or both?
I did not want the question to be turned back on me.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, I feel like anything with Spartans in it would be cool.
Okay.
Just I'd like to see their formation. Also, I think the movie Troy with Brad Pitt definitely, like, it seems cool to like stand at the top of a castle and just like
watch Brad Pitt.
Oh well, I'd stand anywhere and watch Brad Pitt. But it seems cool to stand at the top of a castle and watch an entire war be fought in front of you. Like, that seems like a fun thing. So
Human Misery seems fun to you?
It does. You know this.
Do you find yourself often feeling a sense of deep empathetic understanding with serial killers?
Yes.
Yeah, like characters in like Hannibal Lecter, let's say, right? Yeah.
I love Hannibal.
I know a lot of people like the character but don't feel necessarily personal connection to his.
He's hard to connect with, I feel like, because he's a
mass murderer.
No, that's not why. I mean, like, everyone fell in love with Dexter.
Because he was killing murderers.
Yeah, but regardless of whether or not he was, like, low-key good, like, he only killed murderers because his dad was like, hey, you're a fucking psychopath serial killer. The only way I'm going to let you live in my house is if I only let you kill murderers.
Spoiler alert for season 3 of Dexter, dear readers.
I'm just saying, it's not like Dexter...
He fucks his sister, so...
Yeah, that was weird.
So,
Did they actually fuck?
I only saw the first 2.5 seasons or so, and I think that was in, like, season 8 or 9.
She definitely... I'm pretty sure she comes on to him, and she's like, have you never wanted to, like, see where this goes? Like...
That's cool.
And then he's like,
that's
what?
Cool. Who wrote the show?
I don't know.
Someone should talk to that person's parents.
Yeah. And they're like, we're not blood related. So...
Okay, someone should talk to that person's parents and maybe aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
See if there are any adopted or second cousins.
It's very strange. I feel like...
Check the tapes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to pause for a minute. Jess is going to go go stargazing on our balcony. We'll be back in a minute.
The sky looks pretty.
Yep. What do you see, Jess?
The only star constellation that I ever look for is Betelgeuse, so...
Betelgeuse is a star in the constellation.
Shit.
Nope.
Orion's belt?
It's in Orion. It's not in his belt. It's his left shoulder.
Wow. Anyway, so I was...
His left shoulder looking at it.
I don't see Orion
House left.
in its entirety.
Yep.
Then I considered a day wasted, so it wasn't a good
Interesting.
gazing.
That doesn't... You don't take into account the fact that you can only see it like 5 months out of the year?
I don't.
Or maybe not even that?
5 months out of the year are a waste.
No, it would be 7 months out of the year. You can only see it 5 months out of the year.
7 months out of the year are a waste.
Got it. So, there you go. There's Jess's take on astronomy.
There's a subplot in Dexter, did you know, where he ends up fucking another serial killer?
I didn't. I wonder, with not so much with being a serial killer, because, I mean, I don't know, maybe. But I wonder with certain people like that, how much of a thieves code there is, like honor among thieves, like some sort of camaraderie among, like, let's say...
I would argue there's none.
Well, let's step back from serial killers. Let's say, let's say child molesters. Like,
sure.
They all must, like, if you want child porn, you must get it from someone else. Like, no one who isn't into child porn is like, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to make some kiddie porn.
Well, I think...
No one else is like, this is gross, but let's see where this takes me.
A lot of child molesters do make their own porn, but I totally understand what you're saying, where it's like, why would you if you don't have to? Like, why
right. not? I mean, there's an enormous distribution network.
Sure.
From what I've heard and from what everyone says about, child trafficking being a huge problem.
Sure.
You'd think there must be some sort of, particularly with the 21st century being so tech forward, you'd think there's probably some network of them keeping in touch, or at least, I mean, there must be like meetups or something.
Meetups.
I mean, what?
That's true. I feel like it's also weird because if everything is like, I think on the dark web or whatever the fuck, like where everything is so traceable, I feel like how can you even distribute? And also, like, why would you want to risk your life? Like, let's say you and I were both child molesters and you wanted porn that I had.
Damn.
Let's say that, like, you wanted porn that I had.
Sure.
Why would I, even if I felt a camaraderie to you, why would I risk my life to send you kiddie porn?
Well, maybe there's a thought that if I know you have it, it could be like a mutually assured destruction thing.
Yeah, but then just never...
I'm like, send it to me or else you...
Yeah.
Or I'll call the cops on you or something.
But then why even admit that you had it? I don't know. Like, I would be way more concerned, especially considering how child molesters are treated in prison. I feel like I would just outright not risk it at all.
Yeah, but okay, this is going down once again the rabbit hole of talking about the psychology of child molesters. This is not really where I want to take it. My point was that
yes,
amongst what sorts of people do you think there's any sort of brotherhood or any sort of fraternity that exists, either unspoken or otherwise, that might be traceable or anything? Jess wants to go stargazing again, so we're gonna have to put this on hold. See what you can see, darling.
Okay.
Back at it again. Jiggity check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Rob's pointing at me to finish the thing, and I don't know.
Big
E smalls
in your ass is bad for your health.
What?
Yeah, go read a book. So, you were saying something about you don't think serial killers have any sort of camaraderie.
I would argue no, because I think that's like the whole serial killer game, is that you kind of are like a lone wolf, or like you don't really care about other people. And I think if you had, I don't know, if you had any sort of like moral code whatsoever, you probably wouldn't be killing people.
Yeah. You know what I think we ought to do? First of all, I don't think it really even requires that much effort, I think, to stigmatize serial killers as dorks, because at this point, like, if you're, whatever the guy's name was, the H.H. Holmes, that guy who killed all those people at the World's Fair.
Devil in the White City.
Yes, in the 1890s. Or, Jack the Ripper. One of those first guys, I'd say, sure, you're doing it, you live in the dream, innovative. That was the 1880s, 1890s. It's now 2020. We're well into the 21st century. Guy, pal, you're kind of a fucking hack. Oh wow, you dismembered 11 people and put them in your crawl space? Never would have thought of that. You fucking nerd. That was passé in 1969.
I think so. It's weird because
Went
I
out
think
of style with swing music.
serial killers aren't doing it to look cool.
I know, but I think if you, like, if we just push them towards, or if any,
to that point, there is like a lot of serial killers. Like, we've started to say, like, in our 2020 society, we've been like, oh, any serial killer, like, we've decided we're not going to say their name because we don't want to give them the satisfaction.
Well,
So,
mass
like,
shooters. Yeah, I think
but it's the same with serial killers.
Right.
Like,
I think you say they don't do it to look cool. I think that a lot of them do.
But that's what I'm saying.
I think
to your
there's
point,
a sense of notoriety.
There for sure is.
They have these cool. Stop giving them cool nicknames.
Yeah.
Too. It's like, oh, the devil in the White City.
Yeah.
Like, oh, even not even cool, just like snappy. I get that.
Because I've thought of that. I've thought of what mine would be.
I get that it gets headlines. What would yours be?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. But
You didn't come up with
it depends on how I would kill people.
How would you kill people?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'd probably sneak up from behind them, jump on them, and crack their neck. That would be my...
Like in a movie.
Yes.
I'm going to let you know
I'd
right now.
be like a little flying squirrel.
Right. I'm going to let you know right now. I think you should rethink that because I don't think you are physically strong enough to do that.
If you insult my leaping skills one more time...
Not leaping. I'm saying I don't think... Like, if you grab my head right now and turn it to the side, I think you would turn my head to the left.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. You're not
How
strong
hard
enough
is it to crack someone's neck?
To break the bones in their spine?
Yeah, it
break
looks
their spinal
really
cord?
easy. And...
Oh, what, a movie?
Yeah.
What else looks easy in a movie, Jess? Jumping over a building? Stopping a train? With your bare hands?
I'm going to look into it.
Okay, so you would jump... Who would your victims be?
Anybody.
Anybody?
It would, I mean, realistically, you know that I very much hate men.
Okay, so you'd as a woman, you would seek out men.
Yeah.
You'd leap on them from behind, and you'd grab their heads and snap
and
their
just
necks.
twist them off, yeah.
Okay,
I would pull so hard that they would literally pop off of the body.
yeah, like, I'd call you, if I were, like, the chief of police,
Please.
and I was saying, like, oh, we have a string of these killings, I'd call you the, stupid retard rock'em sock'em murderer.
Rock'em sock'em!
Yeah, because there has to be
cute.
some...
You could just call me...
Some sort of identibility to the actual crime.
It would just call me, like, attempted murderer of 9. Like, it wouldn't be like I wouldn't kill a single person according to you. It would just be...
I mean, you
this
wouldn't.
girl keeps hopping on men and twisting their necks as hard as she can.
You'd hop on a man's back, grab at his neck, and he would probably promptly...
Throw me to the ground.
Slam you to the ground.
And then I would run away.
You'd probably be in the hospital. You'd probably end up breaking a bone.
Do you think if you threw me as hard as
You'd be the dipshit rock'em sock'em murderer.
If you threw me as hard as you could, like, if I was around your neck...
Yep.
Do you think that you could take me, like, grab me and throw me to the ground, like, as hard as you possibly could? What do you think you could, like, really, really hurt me?
Oh, I think I could probably paralyze you. Yes.
No.
I could. You know that I can do this because I've done it before. I can, like Dirty Dancing, lift you above my head.
That doesn't mean that...
If I then drop you onto, say you do this outside,
Concrete.
on concrete, I could drop you from approximately directly onto your head from 8 feet above the ground. Yes, absolutely, that could break someone's neck.
Really?
100% that can break someone's neck.
Would that break my neck if you just dropped me, or would that break my neck if you threw me to the ground? You know what I mean? Like, if you take me and go boof, like, with force, versus if you take me and you just let me go. Obviously, one would be way worse than the other one, but, like, how much damage would I take if you just dropped me?
Let's say you were dropped. By the time you hit the ground, you're probably going, I don't know, 20 some odd feet per second. What is that? Almost 30 miles an hour? Yeah, dropping you could be enough to do it.
That's
might not.
Because I feel like kids fall from their
yes.
parents, like, holding them and stuff. Like, kids have...
When parents are holding their kids above their head and they drop the kids directly on their head, bad things tend to happen.
Directly on their head,
on concrete, sure. Bad things tend to happen. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. That's not. I don't know why I have to explain this to you. That's literally exactly what I said verbatim, like 3 times.
What?
Dropping you from above my head onto concrete.
I know, but again, I'm trying to picture
Also,
it.
children are not as heavy, so they do not have as much weight pressing down on their necks if they fall on their own.
It also depends on if I can, catch myself with, like, my elbows or something. Like, do I get to flip in midair? Like, I'm trying, anyway, I don't want to think about this because it's pretty dark, but, Yeah, I'd be the Rock'em Sock'em Killer. And you know what movie looks really good? Speaking of women that just murder men successfully. I don't know what it's called, but it's that woman who, like, role plays kind of in a couple scenes. Like, I think she dresses up as a nurse in one of the scenes, and she, like, pretends to be really drunk, and, like, she allows herself to almost be, like, date raped, essentially. I think that's what it's called what's it called when you rape someone, but they're, like, super drunk, and they technically...
It's called sex, get over yourself.
Anyway, so, like,
Bada boom!
She gets to the point where she's so drunk that, like,
It's my new character.
No man should be trying to fuck her. And
I don't think that thing is possible. Bada boom!
And then
that thing you just said about the drunk and the sex and the rape with the sex. Not in my house. Ow. Violence is never the answer.
Then she goes home with these men, and then she, like, is like...
Owes them sex, I agree, bada boom!
And then she basically is just like, hey, I was not drugged, you're a piece of shit, die. And that movie looks so fucking good. I don't know when it's coming out, especially considering what's been going on, but it did look like it would have been out this summer, so...
I bet it would have bombed because it's got a lady lead, bada boom!
We should review that one.
That wasn't very clever.
No, it's pretty good. I liked it.
Okay, great. Thanks.
We should,
You're the only one who's gonna like that character.
I don't like the character. I just like that one.
Women, am I right? Bada boom!
Yeah.
That was pretty low-hanging fruit.
Again, you're the type of man...
I had to connect one dot on that one.
That I would kill.
Because you're a woman, bada boom! See how easy it is? Anything
it's
you
not
do
funny.
or say. Well, agree to disagree.
It's easy to just say random things.
I'm not saying it's hard.
Is it easy? Well, I know you said see how easy it is.
Yep.
It would have been hard if you were funny about it.
Women, am I right? Bada boom.
Anyway, I don't think there's any sort of camaraderie around amongst serial killers or child molesters or...
I can't imagine that's true. At least, like, let's say they're in prison together. Like, let's say they all get put in prison after the fact. You don't think they're swapping stories? Like, oh, yeah, let me tell you about dismemberment. Like, oh, I have... they go, like, over, like, their blooper reel. Like, oh, I had this one guy, slipped right through my fingers. Yeah. Oh, police almost caught me 6 times in 3 weeks, you know.
I thought prison stuff... I mean, I think that you get a certain level of, like, respect or fear of the other inmates, but it's not, like, amongst... Like, I think you guys are just at the same level of feared. But I don't think that there's, like, a band of serial killers. Like, I don't think they get together in prison and they're like, yeah. And also, like, isn't prison... Again, just depicted in movies, prison seems like a whole race situation. Like, you got the neo-Nazis
it seems like that tends to be a lot of the case. But I'm saying in this hypothetical wherein they were put together in close quarters.
Like a room, yeah.
Yeah, or something like that. Like on death... You would think on death row, which in prisons, it's usually a part of the prison. Like, a part of the prison is death row. You would think death row inmates are usually just murderers.
I think, yeah, maybe, like, single murderers, no. But I think maybe serial killers might... Yeah. I could see them getting off on, like, talking to each other and kind of... I could see it being more of a competitive thing, where it's like, I need to prove that I'm the best, more than I could see them bonding over it.
I want to be the very best, but no one
ever was.
Anyway, okay, so you'd be the dipshit Rock'em Sock'em
squirrel
murderer. Interesting. And okay, I think a good way to, because again, I think a lot of them are out for... I mean, some of them there's a sexual component, but I think a lot of it is out for notoriety. I think if you start, because pretty much every serial killer, at least all the ones they find, are men, maybe because they're not looking for women, so a lot of them aren't found. But I think they're mostly men. I think if you find the serial killer, you don't release any details about who they are, you don't publish their stupid, shitty manifesto, you put a bag over their head, like a trash bag, you bring them out. Granted, this would be fairly unconstitutional. Fine. This is medieval. But I think it would work. You bring them out into, like, a town square. You can film it, I don't care. And you rip their dicks off. Like, you have a strong man, not a strong man, like a power lifter, grab their dick and go, 1, 2, 3, and rip their dick off.
Jesus. Yeah, but that... doesn't do anything.
I think if everyone saw that, anyone who is thinking like, oh, I'm going to attain and maintain this fame, this legacy, this glory by killing people, killing more people, they see that, they go, oh, that's no good. No one is going to... And then you put that person back, you like bury him in a mass grave or something.
Yeah.
No one ever knows their name.
Yeah.
All that they get out of it is having their dick ripped off. No one sees their face. No one knows anything.
Sure. I mean, yeah, that would be a great way to handle a serial killer.
I'm saying...
I would be curious because I know, like, narcissism tends to be a trait of a sociopath.
Uh-oh.
What? Because you're narcissistic?
It's me.
Yeah. But I don't know where that line is drawn. Like, obviously they go to extremes and, like, they'll keep, like, souvenirs and stuff. And, like, I think they like to... They definitely have a pride in what they do and they want recognition for it. But I don't know if you took the recognition component out. I can't imagine that they would stop killing. Because I think it's like an addiction inside of them more than it is like they don't do it for the attention, but I feel like they do love the attention, but that is not why they do it.
I think I'd be a really good serial killer.
Why is that?
Narcissism.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got a lot of that. I don't know how much more you need.
You do have a lot of that, yeah.
I would start killing people in a really, really distinct, weird way that would grab a lot of headlines. Like, I would murder people because I don't have any proclivity for killing people, but I would kill people simply. Like,
let's not give them ideas.
Like, I would
serial killers are listening to this.
Look, you fucking hacks. You're already so derivative. If you take... This is what I would do. If anyone does this, I know how to catch them. I'm inside the mind of the killer.
Sure.
Although the police would probably come and think it's me. But anyway,
that's true.
I would kill them quickly, easily. I'd like shoot them in the back of the head. I don't have any need to kill
Torture.
them. Yeah. But then I would do something really fucking crazy. Like, I would dress up each one of them like as a different one of the kids from Willy Wonka.
Oh my
in
God.
order that they were knocked out, of the running. Like, the first one would be Augustus Gloop.
Yeah.
And I cover him in chocolate and I put him in the Lederhosen, and I don't like. I would have to reread the books or rewatch the movies to know like the details of it. And the next one would be Veruca Salt or whoever the fuck. And then I would get
it was Veruca.
I would do something like that, or I would do the Seven Dwarfs. I would do the Seven Dwarfs, right? And I would get 5 in, and then I would stop doing that. And I would just start killing people. And then they'd be like, well, this is clearly not the guy. And every few times I would shift like that.
Okay.
And they'd be like, oh, we've got like 15 copycat killers. Nuh-uh. One guy, off his rocker. This is what's happening.
I also find it interesting that most serial killers don't kill that many people. Like, what?
I think it's risky. And I think,
it
is even... I think even serial killers must, at some point, on some level, recognize the heinousness of the crime.
I really don't know.
Because if there are two possibilities, right? Like, you're right. Like, some serial killers are like, oh yeah, we can confirm he killed 40 and he says he killed up to 300 or some shit like that, which, a lot of times you think, well, maybe they're just bumping up the... But,
sure.
Prostitutes and sex workers and all these people go missing all the time. Homeless people go missing all the time. Yeah. No one ever finds them. No one ever looks for them. No one ever cares. Especially if they're a little older or if they're anything other than white.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, yeah, maybe. Who knows? Maybe these vagrants were just picked off by these people who knew well enough to know that they weren't going to be missed.
Mm-hmm.
So you think, okay, fine. Fine. But you're right. For the people who kill like 8, 6... 11, whatever.
Yeah.
You think if I'm a serial killer, I'm gonna go out and especially again, like if I'm killing people who are like, oh, the CEOs of big companies who like Dexter. Like if I have a mission, that's one thing. But if I'm just a serial killer who just wants to kill people, I'm either doing it like once every 10 years, so no one's ever fucking catching me.
Yeah.
And by the time they catch me, I've probably killed 3, or I've probably just died.
Yeah.
Or I'm killing like 3 people a week.
That's what I'm saying. Like
what the fuck? How, when you catch someone and they're like, oh, he's been at large for 30 years and he's killed 40 people, you're like, wow, that's a lot. But then you're like, no, it's not. Bump up if I was a serial killer, I could kill probably 100 people in a year. Like if I went to a big city and you just start killing homeless people,
but again,
go to New York, kill 11 homeless people, and then take a train to Chicago.
Yeah.
And then kill 6 homeless people, and then go to Houston. And then go to Toronto. And then go to Los Angeles. And then go to London and just chill for 4 months and then kill 3 people there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
how hard would it be?
I'm curious as to what the compulsion
you need some resources,
to kill is, too. Where it's like, what... You know, like, people that are addicted to drugs, it's like, okay, I need to get high right now. Like, that makes more sense. But, like, to me, it's like, what is the impulse to kill?
2:27 a.m., dear readers. Why don't we pivot away from this?
I want to say, you brought up serial killers, which I know. Really interesting.
Well...
It wasn't me this time, for once.
Yeah, well...
Anyway.
They're hacks, they're derivatives, let's move on. They're derivative, let's move on. Do you have any thoughts? I saw a question posted today that said, if you could change every character except one, any movie you pick, any character except one, what's the movie, who's the character, that character stays the same, everybody else is replaced by Muppets.
Ugh.
What would you pick? I think what nobody said in response, really, I think burying the interesting part of this question in this specificity and the limitations, forget about one movie, pick one actor. Every movie they're in, everybody is replaced by Muppets. Except them. Who has the biggest ripple effect? I say maybe, off the top of my head, maybe Harrison... You'd think people who are in a lot of movies, but Harrison Ford, I think, is a good one, because then Blade Runner is all Muppets.
Sure.
All the Indiana Jones movies are all Muppets.
Yeah, if everyone in Indiana Jones
all
was
the Star Wars
Muppet,
movies are Muppets. That's a big ripple. That would
ruin a lot of, yeah.
Who is The Fugitive? All Muppets.
Tom Hanks has been in a bunch of movies.
Tom Hanks is another good candidate. Everyone in Forrest Gump. Jenny. Imagine that being delivered to a Muppet.
Yeah.
Like, imagine Bubba being a Muppet. Imagine Lieutenant Dan being a Muppet who gets his legs blown off. They put a Muppet in a wheelchair, right? That's just Forrest Gump.
AIDS.
Philadelphia, right. No, he has regular AIDS.
Oh, and it's his character.
But presumably...
No, Jenny has Muppet AIDS.
No, in Philadelphia, I'm saying. I said Philadelphia, and then...
Sorry.
Yeah. No, you said Muppet AIDS, and I assumed you were kidding.
I have no idea
Philadelphia, Tom Hanks has AIDS.
Oh, no shit.
And Denzel Washington, I think, is his lawyer.
Okay. I've never seen Philadelphia, so I don't know.
Muppet lawyer, Muppet boyfriend who gives him Muppet AIDS. Right? I mean...
What was the
Toy Story would be fucking weird.
No, I know.
He'd be a regular toy and everyone else would be Muppet toys.
I was thinking there was one that I was going to make a joke about, but you've been going on a thing, so I don't...
Joe and the Volcano.
Fucking Sully.
Sully,
like,
sure.
all of them, just everyone on the plane being a Muppet, it just takes the pressure off, I think.
Right, I'm saying anything with any actor with a long career with a lot of movies. Meryl Streep's probably a good candidate, too.
Sure.
Like, any of these people, any multiple-time Oscar winners would probably be...
Okay.
Do you have a pick? Is Tom Hanks your pick?
Yeah, I mean... I guess...
Interesting. I can
keep thinking, but it might take me a minute.
I might pick... You'd have to think carefully, but not that carefully. I'd pick someone who's... And I guess you could go TV if you want. I'd probably pick, like, Mary-Kate Olsen. So that sometimes in Full House...
Oh, that's funny.
It's her, and sometimes it's a Muppet. Or like in, what's that, Double Trouble? Whatever that movie was, the Halloween movie.
Double Toil and Trouble.
Whatever. Was that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. My sister loved that movie.
I did too.
When she was like 8.
I love that witchy shit.
Yeah, one of them would be a Muppet, one of them would be a person.
Yeah. That's
or like any movie
dumb.
where someone plays themselves. Like the new Terminator movies where Arnold Schwarzenegger... then he's like young Arnold Schwarzenegger, but that would be a Muppet.
Oh, or like Will Smith and Gemini Man.
Sure, any of that crap. Or Lindsay Lohan, Parent Trap. Bam.
Okay.
One of them is Lindsay Lohan. One of them is British, but then it's a Muppet.
I'm pretty sure with all the Muppet movies, aren't they supposed to be...
Brilliant idea. That's a Muppet.
Aren't they supposed to be taken seriously?
In the Muppet movies?
Yeah, like aren't they supposed to be treated as though they're real characters? Like I could get into that.
Really?
Yeah, like
to say about that?
If that was just the world that we lived in, I'd be like, all right, sometimes people are just Muppets and that's fine.
Well, what?
Do you mean like changing it now? Now that I know what Star Wars is, would you just erase Star Wars and make it into a Muppet situation? Or would it be like Star Wars never existed with real characters? It would always have been made with Muppets.
Wow, you're reading a little too deeply into this, I think.
Yeah, I don't understand comedy.
That's okay. I'd say the former, replacing it. You know Star Wars, and now you love Star Wars. Yeah. Here's Muppet Star Wars. Go fuck yourself. Every other version of Star Wars is erased from existence.
I'm trying to think of like a really again. I think Tom Hanks is wasn't Tom Hanks in Saving Private Ryan? Like, yes, that would be such a good Muppet one.
Yes, he was.
I think Tom Hanks is a great choice.
Tom Hanks is a great choice. I think anyone in those fucking Marvel, like the Robert Downey Jr. is probably a decent choice too. Everyone in all the Iron Man and Avengers movies.
No, I would love to see that with Muppets.
I think what's great actually would be like a character actor who only has like in a lot of movies.
Like Bruce Willis.
No, Bruce Willis is not really a character actor.
What is that?
A character actor is usually it's just a term to distinguish. Oh, this person's a good actor, but they're not good looking. That's usually. But a character actor is usually like Bruce. Why would you think Bruce Willis?
I thought a character actor meant they always play the same character in every movie.
No, that's just
like a Rebel Wilson
typecast or alternatively bad actor.
Well,
but no, Bruce Willis, John McClane. He was in Unbreakable. He was in Pulp Fiction.
He's all the same guy.
Well, he's bald in all of them, but
no, okay.
Same dude.
Pulp Fiction.
The Sixth Sense.
He's the exact same character in The Sixth Sense in
Unbreakable.
Pulp Fiction and Unbreakable.
No,
yes.
Not. In
Die Motherfucker.
Die Hard. Yeah. Die Hard, yeah.
Die Motherfucker.
He's an action star. I'll give you that, but
again, Liam Neeson is the exact same way. They're always like these unstoppable, cool
but
fucking.
But then in The Sixth Sense, that really throws a monkey wrench into that because that's not.
It doesn't though, because even then he wasn't like a retired detective or something.
But he's not.
Like, he was still a fucking badass. Right.
So,
and then even throughout the entire movie, he's a badass the whole time. Like, Bruce
Willis,
he's a reserved
not a bad
badass.
choice.
Yeah, that would be an intense... Or like Liam Neeson, you get Star Wars again.
You get Star Wars, you get the Batman movies, you get that Taken movie. Imagine him beating the shit out of Muppets. Like 6'4" Liam Neeson.
Again,
really,
I would like to see it.
Really, like
he's
throwing
not that
himself.
Tall.
He is that tall.
No
he
shit.
Is precisely that tall.
Really?
Yes. Just beating the living shit and getting the shit beaten out of him by Muppets.
I would say then, what the fuck is his name?
Jackie Chan.
Ian McKellen. Because you get Cats and you get Lord of the Rings.
God.
And X-Men.
Yeah, not bad. Jackie Chan might be good because every single movie he would be fighting. Really, really creatively fighting these Muppets.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of movies. A lot of even just America. There's Shanghai Night, there's Shanghai Noon, there's the Rush Hour movies.
Like,
I would love to see Chris Tucker as a Muppet.
The Marriage Story, and you can just
Adam Driver screaming
really
at Muppet
intense,
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, just like really crazy, or maybe Scarlett Johansson screaming at
Muppet Adam Driver.
That's because then you also get Marvel, and you also get
not a bad choice.
Yeah.
I think that's why Tom Hanks would be good because
Jojo Rabbit. Oh no.
Boy, oh boy.
The little boy.
Tom Hanks is good because a lot of his roles are pretty serious.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Philadelphia,
and they're all very character based, where it's like all the people.
So my point was that like a character actor is someone who's someone who has a lot of roles, but a lot of smaller roles. Like Adam.
He's in The Good Place. He plays the demon. He's in Amy Poehler show.
Oh, Adam Scott.
Yeah. Like, he's in everything, but he's not the main character ever.
Yeah, but like some kind of like that. Like someone who makes a lot of cameos.
Like Aubrey Plaza too. She's that kind of thing.
Right. Someone who makes a lot of cameos who, like a Christopher Walken. Like, a lot of times he'll show up in a movie, he'll have one... Like, Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction is a good example. He has one scene. So the point would be, the movie would be...
What was he in Pulp Fiction?
He was the guy who gave... Spoiler alert, dear reader. He gave young Bruce Willis his father's ass watch.
Oh, weird. Yeah. Okay.
So, the entire movie would be all Muppets, and you'd be watching it being like, who the fuck isn't a Muppet in this movie? You'd just be waiting for like an hour and a half, like, when do I see a person? And like, and then 30 seconds later you go, all right. I gotta just keep watching this with all these fucking Muppets? All right. Great.
What a weird thought to have.
Thank you.
This whole thing.
Thank
What
you.
did they say?
Oh, a bunch of stupid bullshit.
Okay.
Jaws or whatever.
Oh.
Gay dumb shit.
I like that.
The Matrix. I don't know. Just big, very, very popular movies. None of them were creative. If you could only pick one movie, what movie would you pick? Let's go with that.
Sorry, what was the original concept?
You pick a movie.
Where every character except one actor. Okay.
One character, stays human.
Yeah, I do feel like it's a little bit more boring.
It is boring. I'm a genius. Thank you.
Because then I have to think really hard about... Also, again, like, I don't think the Muppets are that funny. Like, I think it would have been better with, like, a different... I don't know.
Let's hear it, then.
Like, if everyone was a gremlin or something.
Okay,
that would
replace them all
be
with gremlins.
hilarious.
Replace them all with dildos. Replace them all with cats. I don't care.
I'm going to keep gremlins, because they do amuse me very much.
Okay, replace them all with gremlins. Do you mean gremlins or mogwai?
Gremlins.
Okay, the big guys.
Yeah, they're hilarious. Have you ever seen a gremlin?
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Yeah. They're funny. They're funny little guys. Mogwais have no senses of humor, but gremlins...
Okay.
Anyway.
Right, you relate with harbingers of mischief. You replace everyone in the movie.
Yeah.
Except one character with gremlins. I'm picking gremlins. And I'd replace everyone... Everyone except the main girl.
Okay.
Who delivers that fucking crazy Santa Claus monologue.
Oh God.
That fucking insane.
My daddy.
I'll look it up right now. You talk for 15 seconds.
It's pretty dark, dear readers. So whoever, and also spoiler alert, it's not really important to the plot, but like there's a very gruesome death.
So, here we go. Go ahead.
I rewatched Gremlins hang on, I'm not done yet.
I'm just raising my hand.
I rewatched Gremlins like this past Christmas because I thought it would get me in the Christmas spirit. And first of all, that monologue is a huge downer. Didn't remember that. And also, like, Gremlins itself was, like, so different than I remember. And it's just, It's fucking weird.
So this is the 1984 children's movie, Gremlins, of which they made, I think, 2 sequels, maybe 3.
Gremlins a children's movie?
Yes, of course it is.
Oh, because
what adult would go, I'm going to go watch the Gremlins, yay!
Literally me a couple months ago.
Well, enough said.
Rude.
So, actor, Phoebe Cates.
Okay.
And the role is Kate Berenger. I'm just going to try and speed read this because it's pretty long. The worst thing that ever happened to me was on Christmas. Oh God, it was so horrible. It was Christmas Eve. I was 9 years old. Me and Mom were decorating the tree, waiting for Dad to come home from work. A couple of hours went by, Dad wasn't home, so Mom called the office. No answer. Christmas Day came and went and still nothing, so the police began a search. 4 or 5 days went by. Neither of us could eat or sleep. Everything was falling apart. It was snowing outside. The house was freezing, so I went to try to light up the fire, and that's when I noticed the smell. The firemen came in and broke through the chimney top, and me and Mom were expecting them to pull out a dead cat or bird, and instead they pulled out my father. He was dressed in a Santa Claus suit. He'd been climbing down the chimney on Christmas Eve, his arms loaded with presents. He was going to surprise us. He slipped and broke his neck. He died instantly, and that's how I found out there was no Santa Claus. That is delivered completely seriously by a tearful Phoebe Cates in the children's movie.
Yeah.
Gremlins. It's not even the children's movie, the children's smash hit, the cultural phenomenon.
It's really dark. Like, I feel like, oh God.
For no reason.
And it's sad because it's not like, I feel like they're all like, grandma got run over by, like, they're always really funny.
Sure.
And this one was just like really realistic, where it's like that definitely could have happened. I feel like dads do that.
Well, doing shit talk here. Dads do here on the pod.
I hate you.
But here's my thing. To be fair, what fucking dipshit gets an armful of presents and goes, I'm actually gonna come down the chimney?
I mean,
what
sure.
Are you fucking? Are you a maniac?
Sure. But also,
1609.
I don't know. Maybe like they had a really.
How stupid do you have to be? I don't care how big the chimney is.
I don't know.
Chimney could be the size of a room. Chimney could be 20 by 20 feet. You'd still have to fall down it like 3 stories.
I'm saying if it's like a one room, like a 1-story chimney, like maybe it's
like a 6-foot tall chimney.
Yeah.
What? Those don't exist, Jessica.
Why not? My chimney is on the ground floor.
No, the fireplace is on the ground floor. The chimney goes up through the ceiling by design.
Point. But maybe I don't know the layout of her fucking house. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it wasn't a great... It's also, like, not a good idea. If you're going to be doing something that's even mildly dangerous like that, and that's pretty dangerous, like, tell your wife.
Yeah. No, yeah. He was like, oh, yeah. Oh, first of all, if the flue was closed, guy, even if you had done this right and, like, gone, I guess, feet first is the right way to do this fucking batshit insane, idiotic... Like, this dude must have been...
Let's
this
be
was
nicer
to this fictional character who's been dead for 40 years. I don't think I will. No.
Okay.
This dude must have been balls to the wall, high out of his fucking mind on methamphetamines. Like, there's no way in hell someone who wasn't intensely high on probably a lot of different drugs, probably a cocktail gone wrong,
do you know,
would have thought, oh, this will be great. Because, say, again, fireplace is closed, apparently, because she went to open it up and notice a smell. You go feet first, guy, you're hitting the flue. You're getting caught one way or the other in there. Unless someone's in the room and hears you go, ooh! As you break both your ankles, you're getting caught in the flue.
Yeah.
And then,
also, wouldn't they have heard him when he broke his neck and fell anyway?
Probably would have been a loud fucking thump if they were home and waiting for him.
Also, I was going to say, like, in 4 or 5 days, how could you not notice the smell? But I guess if the flue is closed.
My point is that if you go, say the flue is open, and you go feet first, because I don't know how else you could do this. That's either head first, like this fucking moron went, or feet first. Like, how does this go so wrong that you get...
I assumed he tripped. They said he tripped.
Okay, but the chimneys aren't just holes in the fucking ceiling. They're up. They're raised. I know. You have to, like, climb up into it like a well.
I know, but maybe once he got to the top, there was ice. Like, I believe that he could have slipped and fell down.
I don't... You're trying to go through something feet first and you go through it head first. You can't possibly fuck that up more.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how you're
his body, like, folding over. Like, that wouldn't be possible.
Like, what is this, the Three Stooges?
Yeah.
But again, like, say the flue is open because you opened it because you're not as stupid as this tweaked out moron.
Jesus.
And you go in feet first. Like, the only way you would go and not conceivably die on impact would be feet first. You're breaking both your legs, you fucking moron.
Oh my god. Again, I don't...
Could you imagine? Because his idea was to... I mean, so
okay, you're just going on a rampage. I need to rein you the fuck in.
No, you don't.
We have a limited amount of time.
Fuck all that.
Okay.
If the rest of this podcast is dedicated to this, to uncovering the madness
I thought of
behind
my
this.
movie
Enough.
that I want to talk about. All right.
That's dead.
No.
That's dead and buried like this fucking
It would be funny.
moron.
I can say it in one little sentence. But okay.
I'm in the middle of something right now.
Oh, that was weird. Oh, I thought a different voice came out of your throat for a second there. That was creepy. And like,
bada bing, bada boom.
Your mouth was just open and someone else was talking. Oof.
Yeah, the devil is speaking through right now. This is the voice of God you're hearing right now.
I guess.
This idiot thought... like, if he had... Like, there are two possibilities. Like, what you're saying is, how do they not hear the thump or anything? Means they must not have been in the room, right?
I mean, presumably they were sleeping.
They were sleeping or not in the room or maybe not in the house.
Both things.
Like, maybe she was at school and the wife was food shopping.
Although, no, I mean,
listen,
you think he did it on Christmas morning while he knew they were.
Right. So, there are two possibilities. Either he did this when they weren't around, and so, guy, you're not surprising anyone. You could have, like, if the surprise is, I'll leave Santa Claus's footprints you can just use the boots and just do that with soot and then put the presents under the tree and say you saw Santa Claus going up the chimney.
Sure.
Or if he did this a little better, but still fucking crazy, he made sure flue's open, he goes up, makes sure his wife and young daughter are in the living room, and then he drops 30 feet into his living room and goes, as his legs shatter in front of his wife and kids. Like, can you imagine being 9 years old and just, like, coloring on Christmas Eve, and then your dad plummets down the chimney and starts screaming bloody murder as his ankles shatter into 1,000 middle-aged pieces?
The sound of that. Crack.
As you're high as fuck. Yeah, crack is right. He's probably smoking it as he's coming down. This dude he's probably using the entire chimney as a crack pipe. That's probably step one of this plan. Can you imagine?
Christ.
That probably would have traumatized her worse than finding her dad's dead body. That's how you find out that Santa's not real.
Oh, yeah,
is your dad slams down.
Oh, she was the one that found the body too, so she did see her dad's body.
No. She didn't see it. The firemen came in.
No.
Well, maybe. No, yeah, they thought it was a cat or a...
No. She said that she smelled it. Cold.
Yeah,
and then
so
she
went.
lit a fire.
She smelled it. She didn't light a fire. She went. Oh, maybe she did light a fire.
She tried to light a fire, and then she did the and then something
it.
fell down.
No, she smelled it. They called the fire department, and they thought it was a cat or a bird.
Are you sure?
I just read the monologue 10 minutes ago.
I thought that it dropped down, and then she went, "Oh God, a dead thing," and then. But I guess if you
this dead thing. What is this? A bird? It's her dad dressed as Santa Claus.
A 4-day-old man.
How could this possibly be anything other than either Santa Claus or her very tweaked out father? Her strung out, probably didn't die on impact of a broken neck, probably died of an OD on the way down, frankly. That's probably what happened. He was probably at the top of the chimney, died, and then fell down it.
Jesus Christ. This is a death extravaganza episode.
What
Fucking hell.
is your movie? 15 seconds or less, go.
You said, thanks for taking up all the time and then
I told you I was going to do it.
You said cult classic and immediately made me think of Rocky Horror. I think that would be an amazing movie.
Not bad. Who is
Brad?
Interesting.
Yeah.
The asshole.
Yeah. Wait, no, Brad is the one that,
the husband.
Yeah, like, the guy who crashed his car or whatever.
Yep.
Like, I would be Brad. I would say we keep Brad, and then every other character is a fucking gremlin.
Interesting.
Or a Muppet.
I would.
Could you imagine seeing Tim Curry, right? Tim Curry's fucking character as a gremlin?
Not bad. Not a bad choice.
It would be great. Oh, man.
I'd probably... Not bad. I'd probably say Meatloaf should be the man.
Again, he was in the movie for like 3 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the point. You'd be watching it and then an hour in you'd be like, oh yeah, this isn't just Muppets Rocky Horror. I forgot there was a thing that we're doing
Or the blonde guy who's just kind of like being seduced by a gremlin.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being seduced.
I wonder how that would change.
There's a gremlin threesome. Oh my God.
I wonder if and how that would change all the call-outs.
Call-outs?
You go to Rocky Horror, you scream stuff at the screen.
Oh yeah, I've never been to one, so I don't.
And, yeah.
I think Muppets might be funnier because, I don't know, I think imagining a gremlin trying to be sexy is absolutely fucking hilarious to me.
I'm sure this is not the first time that thought has occurred to you.
Stop it.
You stop it.
Human face, human dick, human brain. Those are my 3 criteria.
And gremlins are your one exception.
I want to lead a clan of gremlins. I don't want to fuck any gremlins. No. There's no sexual appeal of a gremlin. If you had like a 6-foot tall, bulky ass gremlin, maybe we'd be talking.
All right, I'm going to stop the pod here.
They're like little
I think
pets.
You need another 30 seconds before you start talking about fucking a gremlin. So I'm going to stop this before...
I think I already spoke about
before it goes that far.
They're too small, too sweet. I would never fuck a gremlin. Good night.
See you later, pod racers.
Bye.